The first 90 minutes of the Silent Hill 2 remake has been leaked to the public. While we will try to keep things spoiler-free for those who want to keep things fresh for their playthrough of the game, here is your disclaimer. Without further ado, here are some key features of the Silent Hill 2 remake. When Blooper Team initially revealed this game, there was a lot of criticism. One of the most common points of critique was directed towards the rather inaccurate facial model of James Sunderland when compared to the original. One immediate takeaway from the new footage, and one we've known about for a while now, is the complete overhaul of James' face, now looking a lot more similar to his original PS2 counterpart. I am personally pleased to see this change, as although it doesn't change the overall product, it does to some extent show that Blooper Team is listening to feedback. As many know, a large part of Silent Hill 2's presentation is its music and sound design. For those who are concerned about the direction of the redone music, there's not much to worry about here. Akira Yamaoka returns to the helm to compose the soundtrack for the remake. From what we've heard so far, it seems that it stays true to itself, delivering that ambient sort of industrial vibe that made the original so chilling. Combat was never really at the forefront of Silent Hill 2, often taking a backseat for the game's thematics and presentation. For better or worse, in an attempt to modernize Silent Hill 2, the combat and gameplay has been overhauled. The general movement is now switched to an over-the-shoulder camera, ditching the tank controls of the original. It seems there's a much greater emphasis on combat now, being more based around dodging, aiming, and shooting. Now, whether the original Silent Hill 2's combat was a limitation of its time or a genuine design choice is really up for debate. For me personally, as long as the game compensates for these new controls by having tougher enemies and limited ammo, I think the original difficulty of the game can still stay intact. Those ready to dive back into Silent Hill 2 expecting a largely familiar experience are in for a surprise. Brand new puzzles and locations were shown off in the footage. This falls in line with Blooper's statement that the game would be twice the length of the original. For instance, in the remake we see a new puzzle in which James has to glue back a broken record in order to reveal the location of the Woodside Apartments. This leaves a few questions. Will there be new additions to the story? Will we perhaps see the return of Born from a Wish, the additional campaign included in the Silent Hill 2 Director's Cut? Really, anything is possible here, and it'll be interesting to see if Blooper does plan to change anything to the story while preserving the integrity of the original. In the original Silent Hill 2, fog was not only used to add to the game's atmosphere, but in a practical sense it allowed the developers to take advantage of the limited draw distance of the hardware it was developed for. We've come a long way now with technology, and it seems the fog in the remake has been faithfully preserved here, even without the limitations. Thanks to the PlayStation 5's solid-state drive, it doesn't seem like there's any loading screens present here, at least within the town of Silent Hill 2, so players can freely explore with uninterrupted gameplay. On top of all this, the game will run 60 FPS in PS5's performance mode, while those looking to play at a higher 4K resolution can switch to fidelity mode at 30 FPS, though this could change with the PS5 Pro on the horizon. These were the standout features of the Silent Hill 2 remake. While nothing could ever really replace the original, I am looking forward to this game, if not cautiously optimistic. So what do you all think? Has Blooper Team exceeded your expectations with the new gameplay? Will you be picking this game up when it drops next month? Let us know in the comments.